A quick review. I Must Betray You by Ruta Sepetys. So this novel, this is a historical fiction set in Romania during one of the darkest and toughest times of that country in 1988 to 1989. So it is a historical fiction inspired by real events. The book is fiction, but everything that happened in Romania during that time is true. So we follow the character of Christian Florescu. So before that, the tone of this from the title itself, the tone of this novel is I Must Betray You. So the characters live in constant fear and paranoia, not just from the dictatorship, not just from the government, but from their own people, from their own friends and family. I don't think I've ever read historical fiction that has this tone where people don't people are paranoid about the people they trust. Okay, I've read about historical fiction set in World War II, especially during especially a theme that is set in Germany, the Nazi. So especially during that time, and I don't think this is comparable because there are there were cruelty on both sides, but this one, the tone of it is betrayal from the title itself. So you cannot trust your own parents, your own siblings, your own friends. So the dictatorship, the dictator is led by Nicolae Ceausescu. So he's been controlling the country for 24 for more than 2 decades, and the way he appears in public, okay, this is real. The way he appears to other nations, he is a good leader, but to his people, he is a dictator. So he keeps it closed in Romania from the rest of the world, while the rest of the world looks at Romania as a good country. So there are a lot of he met with a lot of leaders who assumed he was a good leader. Like to say, the United States president at the time met with Romanian dictator Nicolae Ceausescu several instances, and they had a good opinion about Nicolae's leadership because he is considered a maverick. Anyway, back to this book. We follow the character of Christian Florescu. So he is the main character. So Christian Florescu, he is a student, and he happened to be forcefully recruited by the military police of the dictatorship. I think it's called Secu by the military dictatorship. So he was recruited and blackmailed. He does not want to work with the government's police system. So what happened is, the way he was blackmailed is he was using a foreign item. So that was how he was caught. So during the communist era of this time, they were not allowed to use any foreign items. Like let's say, Springsteen is mentioned in this book. So he was a photo, an article about him because one of the characters loves Springsteen. So if he was caught with that article, he was going to be arrested. So now they brought him in for questioning, and they use that crime using um, foreign subject in order to blackmail him to work for the dictatorship. Um, so Christian, he does not like the. We can see that he is progressive and his character is progressive, and he wanted to liberate the country. So he wanted to liberate the country from the dictatorship. So in his mind, in his young mind, the way he approached this is he is going to use the relationship he had with the interior police in order to take down the dictatorship. So he took the blackmailing as an advantage. So Christian Floresco's job for the dictatorship is to gather information from an from the son from an American ambassador. So and Christian will report to the interior police what the American ambassador's family thoughts about Romania, or if they are planning something bad. So that's how the story is set and is pushed. So we can see the interior police blackmailing Christian Florescu, while Christian Florescu is planning to take down the dictatorship. So we have Christian Florescu, and his love interest is Liliana Pavela. So Christian Florescu, Liliana Pavel, and Christian Florescu's family. So that is how the story revolves. So at the first chapters, it looks like a little. It feels so. The plot follows Christian Florescu working for the American ambassador's family, and Christian informing on them. So they use the term inform. So inform on traitors and anyone who is smuggling items from outside Romania, which is illegal. So Christian Floresco informs on the American ambassador's family to the securate to the police, and while doing that, Christian Floresco is trying to gain information from the government, and he thinks and he actually believes that he can use his position to take down the dictatorship. So that's how the plot of this book revolves. So I'm not going to spoil anything. This is a historical fiction, but there are touches of romance, and there are moments where it is light and it is not heavy. So yes, and so this is set during the communist era in European countries. So Christian described how other countries like Poland, how other European countries are slowly trying to liberate from communism. So so this country was liberated from communism, and this country, I forgot those countries that are mentioned, and then this country was liberated from communism. So Christian Florescu and the youth, the students, are inspired by that. So are inspired by the liberation that other countries have, and they want to follow the steps. So they believe they can overthrow the dictatorship, the communism in Romania. So that's how it evolves. So again, the characters, the tone of this novel, it feels the characters are living in constant fear and paranoia because again the dictatorship police, the security are using family members to inform on them. So they believe, they think it is their patriotic duty, national duty, to tell on citizens who are not obeying the government, who are smuggling goods. So um, in fact, Christian Florescu's his circle, the people he knows, there are a lot of informers on his circle, and it is not what it seemed to be. So I don't want to spoil anything. So Christian has a sister named Sisi. Christian has a sister named Sisi. Christian has a grandfather whom he looks up to. Um, His name is Bruno. He was inspired by his grandfather because he is a maverick, and they're almost alike. And Christian Florescu's father, Christian Florescu's mother, he has a best friend. So, in fact, the first chapter revolves around that. So, Christian thought someone informed him. So, either one of his family members or one of his friends. Because, again, that was how the government's police found out that Christian has an illegal item with him. So someone close to him informed. So you have to read the book, whether it's his best friend, his romantic interest Liliana, his family members, his grandfather, his father, or his mother. So you have to read the book, which of them informed on Christian Florescu that made Christian work for the police. So by the last chapters of this book, this is where the action happens. This is where the revolution begins. So the students, they stood up for against the communism, and they're about to overthrow Nicolae Ceausescu. So it gets violent and it gets chaotic. So will the dictatorship step down? Will he leave Romania, or will he be shot? So you have to read the book. So again, this is your typical dictatorship. So while the entire country is in poverty, the government is Nicolae Ceausescu's family is wealthy. So it was exposed in the last chapter. So he was wealthy and the country is not doing good. So yes, so the Ruta Sepetys wrote this in the writing style. It is written in first point of view, so you can directly connect with Christian Florescu because this is first point of view throughout the rest of the book. I've read Salt to the Sea, and I don't remember much about the novel, but I feel like Salt to the Sea is a little better than I Must Betray You. But I like this book, and it is refreshing to see a storyline that's a little different or a little mainstream. Because if you decide to read a historical fiction now, you're going to read stories about World War II, and it's specifically set with Germany and the Nazis. So having with Romania, it is set in 1989, it is um, refreshing. I mean, we've all heard about the cruelty of the Nazi, but many of us haven't heard Romania. So, out of 10, I will give this an 8. So, again, the characters feels real. Um, I felt connected with them, and that's it. So, I Must Betray You by Ruta Sepetys, a historical fiction set during the dictatorship in 1989.